Welcome back to the channel, folks. Thank you for joining another comparison video here on Factor of Games. We're going to take a look at Tekken 8 today on the Steam OLED on the top and the Steam LCD hardware on the bottom. Now, Tekken, it falls into one of the fighting arcade fighter categories, and I know folks have asked me in the past on different live streams, what's your favorite fighting game series? And I like a lot of them. I wouldn't say I like every one of them, but I do like some of them. And I would say Tekken probably is up there on the top. Soul Calibur used to be when they were definitely making those. I've also enjoyed a lot of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat probably is, in my opinion, the best fighting game series. I was old enough to really see the beginning of Street Fighter, but I was never really good at it, so I didn't really care for it. There wasn't a lot of arcades that had it, which I didn't have a lot near me anyhow, where I grew up, but Mortal Kombat ended up being a little bit more prevalent than, I guess, Street Fighter when I was around 18 because of like Mortal Monday and stuff like that. So just Mortal Kombat for me in general became bigger, and I didn't really do a lot of fighting games when I was young, so I did a lot more when I was like 18, 19, 20, kind of thing like that. So I basically played every version of Mortal Kombat through my entire life, but when PlayStation hit, I did play a lot of Tekken, and definitely enjoyed Tekken. I really liked the original one. I like Tekken 3, and Tekken 7 was good. Tekken 8 is actually a very good game. I think overall, this really is up there. I mean, it's definitely, in my opinion right now, for kind of 3D type fighters, one of the top ones. The comparison that I would have would be like a Street Fighter being as big as it is, still in kind of a 2D but 3D look to it, right? This has what I would say is 3D movement and in and out of the play field and back and forth and stuff like that. You can move in more directions. I think this is probably the top of its game. Really, if I was to put Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter up against each other, for me personally, it would be Mortal Kombat. But yeah, for this one, definitely Tekken. Tekken 8 has really showcased, and now they have Eddie Gordo available. So that's who they're promoting now. He's a paid character. You have to go in and pick him up unless you've got, I believe, maybe the season pass or the deluxe edition possibly. But I think he's around $7.99. I'm not going to worry about picking him up. Right now you can see I have one of these offline. So we're going to stay mainly offline as we do in these videos because of that aspect. I need to be able to run them both on my same account. I have to have one offline and download it on both devices from Steam. So let's take a look at graphic settings first. And we'll jump in. We do have them both on 1280 by 800. VSync is turned on. They are preset to low, but it does say custom because I have FSR 2 performance mode on. Now, I did try FSR balanced, FSR what's the quality? That's the next one. FSR quality on high, so basically kind of high FSR featuring. It could not hold 60 at either of those. So performance is the first spot that it holds 60 probably 98% of the time. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but I'll kind of go in and we'll take a look at how this performs. So what we're going to do for this, we're going to go to offline. We're going to go down to versus, and we are going to have the CPU play the CPU. This way we can actually see performance running on these devices instead of me trying to fumble around with two sticks trying to make it work. So we'll pick Jin first off. We're going to put everybody on ultra hard, and let's go with like Law. I do like Eddie Gordo, but like I said, I'm not really into paying for him yet. So I'm not going to do that right now. And then we'll just pick a random environment here. So let's just go into the stratosphere, and actually we should have done the, we'll do the same on the next one. This will be a little bit of a test of different environments, and then the next one will be the same environment. But I think they are going to be different here. If I'm not mistaken, we've got one that's on the meteor and going around Earth, and then the other one is what is it, the Tekken fight stage? Or concert? I can't remember what they have it as. But you can see both are holding 60 at this. Now FSR, we talk about it a lot. When you look at hair, when you look at anything flowing like clothing, those straps that are hanging off of either player, you start to see little bits of digitized edges, and that's just going to be common for upscaling. I don't think you can get away from that. Maybe NVIDIA does a little bit better, but I know FSR, if you're below like quality, you really can see it, but it's a little bit better with balance. But once you get into performance and ultra performance, it's really noticeable. And I would rather not play with FSR, but for these major games, I don't think we could hold 60 unless we turned FSR on. I don't think even on very low, with no upscaling, that either device could hold steady at 60. Right now they are. You can see the LCD's jumping a little bit. It's going to 59, 60. And then it'll be, 30 seconds, it'll be 59 again. And usually it's at the beginning of the match. But they are using basically their max power, 25, 26 watts down on the LCD and 21.8 to 22 on the OLED, which is about the max. That's what you're going to see. So I think the one is finished up. We're still going on the bottom. Nope, they're both still going. So we've maybe got another round that we're going to see here. But once we get out of that, we'll pick 2 new characters, and then we'll go in and we'll try the exact same stage and everything. So we'll try and see, and we'll try to see if we can pick one like the ballroom, where they potentially can bust out and jump down to different levels, things like that, and see what it looks like. Oh, we got a final round on the LCD. If we're looking at it though, you can see the battery definitely being pushed. Now the LCD definitely has less battery. It's only charged to about 20% right now. The OLED's about 60%. And given what it's using, I mean, it's definitely maxing it out on the OLED. I'd probably say maybe 2 hours, 15, 2 hours, 25 minutes, something like that, is what you're going to get out of the battery playing at these settings. And then for the LCD, it's going to be pretty quick. It's going to be less than an hour and a half probably on this one. But I think that's the end of that match. I'm going to start the LCD, and we'll get into the character selection. We'll do the same thing up here. They ended up being pretty quick. And we do have them set on hard. I'm just trying to see the computer kind of push the limits here. But this will be our second match. And you know what? I like Leroy. So let's go Leroy as the first character on both. And again, we'll put it at ultra hard. And then let's go with, how about Kazuya? We'll put him on ultra. And then we're going to pick the exact same stage instead of 2 different stages. And we're going to try to go with I think it's the ballroom. I don't know, that's what I call it. Elegant Palace. That's the one. Lots of reflections in this one. And again, it's multi-stage or multi-level. So if you get knocked out, I think you go down to the next level below it. I think there's 2 tiers. There's the starting level, you get knocked down to the next level, and I thought there was a 3rd level, but I could be wrong about that. We'll see how well it holds. Now, we don't see much of the reflections here because obviously we have as much of the graphics settings turned down as possible. They're on low. There's a little bit right there by the window, but not going to be a lot. And it doesn't really have any type of detail either. Just like bright white light, or bright white laying on top of the floor. Okay, we got one KO. I'm hoping they're going to knock one person out, and then we'll go to the next stage on this. But we're holding 60 on both. Again, power usage is probably where it should be. I mean, it's maxing it out. You're not going to get a ton of time on the LCD. You're going to get a little bit more time on the OLED for sure, because there is a bigger battery, and as we always say, the chipset's smaller and a little bit more efficient. There's still some of the effects, like the broken tile that you're knocking each other into. Oh, I kind of thought Kazuya was going to knock Leroy out on that LCD. It may not happen. It doesn't happen too often for me in regular matches. And it may not get there at all. Oh. So the OLED is going to do it. No. Regardless, I don't think it would make a total amount of difference. I'd just like to see kind of the explosion happen. Oh, it looked like he was going to do it. The panel move on that LCD. I think this is final round. Well, final round on the LCD. Still environmental damage happening, but you can see it disappears in the background. Okay, Leroy's done, I think, on the LCD. They're too far away on the OLED. So we're not going to see the stage transition, but I think we've seen kind of here that performance is equal across the board if you use those settings, and you also get a fairly positive experience, which is what we're looking for this. It's definitely gotten a little bit better. There's been some patching, but you still have to utilize FSR, and you have to get it into the performance area, which definitely doesn't give you. It doesn't look as bad. I will say this game, as compared to most, with FSR and performance, does not look as bad. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's nice that you can play it. You can play Street Fighter, you can play Mortal Kombat 1. Now each of them at 60 frames per second if you use the right settings, which we've shown. So I'm pretty happy about that. And that's going to conclude this video. I would hope that everybody gets a chance to click the subscribe button. Definitely love to see you come back, participate in the daily poll. I put one up every day. You get to choose between 4 games. One of those games moves forward. There's 5 games by the end of the week that have moved to Saturday, the live stream show, the Weekly Factor. Come check that out. You'll be able to see live gameplay of games running on the OLED or the Legion Go, direct captured, and it's all on your votes. You choose what games are shown. I actually do pick one game that's either from the week that it's of the show, the previous week, or the upcoming week. So we do kind of do that as a live stream event every week. And love to see you be there. If you did like this video, if you got something out of it, definitely click on the like button. And like I said, if you want to share your favorite fighting game, leave it in the comments. Love to see. Tell me why Tekken 8 is better than Mortal Kombat. I will say I would probably go with Tekken 8 is better than Mortal Kombat 1. But you could probably put every other game up against Mortal Kombat 11 for me, and Mortal Kombat 11 would still be the top. So that's how I feel. All right, folks. Thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.